special place in time. Maybe when I get back, I can write a book about my travels. About getting out of this sick society. Society, man.
And welcome back, everybody, to Bottom of the Class podcast, and I'm one of your hosts, Josh Ford. And to my left, I got Matt Rios.
What is going on?
Right in front of me, I have Madman Mason Flores.
I'm so mad right now.
And then we have my lovely sister, Amanda Ford, with us as guest.
I don't think I've ever heard you call me lovely before, so
it's not going to happen
different.
again.
Okay.
Period.
Good, I didn't want it to.
Has any brother or sister relationship ever been like great?
No, we fought like cats and dogs until high school.
Yeah, I've never met anyone who's just my sister and I we've been cool growing up. Never have we ever fought.
No.
I mean, Game of Thrones, Jaime and his sister are pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
In that fictional
world,
show
they're
about
cool.
Dragons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you asked and you got an answer.
You want to know something about the real world? Do you remember this, Amanda? There's one time I was a little kid. We were in private school together. And you were with your bully ass friends. And I went over there and said, you need to stop hanging out with them.
When was this?
Elementary school.
Okay.
So I went over there to be like, Amanda.
You check out the laptop's on the edge.
That's so dangerous.
At any moment.
Any moment.
Yeah. It doesn't look good.
All right, so anyway.
So I went over to you, and you're just like, go away, Josh. I'm just like, no, you're not supposed to be with them. I thought they were mean to you. And Amanda's like, no, you need to go away. And then, your friend's like, oh, your brother's being weird.
You just snitched your sister out to her friend?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Amanda came up and pushed me on the ground.
I did?
You did. And I hated you for a really long time after that.
You hold grudges. That was a long time ago.
I still remember that shit, man.
I don't remember that at all. I don't remember pushing you.
That was the, family betrayal.
Are you saying this so I'll apologize or something?
I was hoping.
Oh, sorry.
After 20 years.
After 20 years, you decided to bring this up, and you aired this episode as retribution.
He was waiting to find a bigger audience, but he was like, you know what, this is the biggest I'm going to get.
Right.
So might as well bring it out now.
Just revenge.
All right. Well, I have a question about your childhood, too.
Go ahead,
Josh.
Go ahead.
While I was a guest on the awesome podcast that is Blaname.
What's up, y'all?
They really wanted you guys to come, which you should do that at some point.
I don't watch anime.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's all the more reason for you
I'm not going to sit there in the corner while you guys just talk about anime.
No, so anyway, all the more reason for you to go there, and I'm going to finish what I was saying now.
No offense.
And then they really wanted to ask you about, because Sine listened to your solo session, and about you dancing like Michael Jackson and grabbing your shit, and your family freaked out, apparently.
I remember that.
Oh, hell yeah.
I remember that. Oh, God.
And so they just kind of wanted more,
so funny.
I don't know, context on that.
Oh, okay. I can, oh, man. You want to talk about it, Amanda?
I don't remember everything. I just remember everyone being like, what the fuck? I remember that.
Well, the thing is, Michael Jackson's on the TV, and I'm a little kid. I'm a chubby little kid. I was probably maybe 8 or 9 years old. Mm-hmm. And everyone's dancing, having a good time, talking about Michael. And I just go, and I was like, I think I can do it. I can bust some moves. I can be like Michael a little bit. So I go out there and do my little Michael Jackson routine. First of all, they start clapping for me at first. Our whole family's into it.
Supportive family.
I'm just like, okay, how can I get more like Michael? I was like, Michael grabs his crotch, so I'm going to grab my crotch. So I grabbed my crotch and then did the hee-hee. And then...
Wait, do that one more time?
Hee-hee, little hee-hee.
The head tilt and everything.
Hee-hee and everything. But my family did not like that, especially Mom, because you know how Mom is.
Yeah.
She was just like, oh my God, my baby. And it's like...
We were we grew up in a very conservative house. So that would have been
Christian household.
Yeah, that would have been a really big deal for him to do that. So
and it was.
I do remember
I got into so much. I was like, never do that again. I was like, I'm just being Michael.
So did you get the belt? Did you get sent to
I don't think he got whooped for that.
No, it was a mistake.
So why is it allowed on the TV in the house, but when Josh does it,
exactly,
it's more like it's my kid. I don't want my kid doing that. I don't know. I don't know the reasoning. I think it's mainly because he was too young, and so having a young kid do that, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Kind of moment,
That's true.
So
yeah, I feel like it's one of those situations where you hear your kids talk about sex, and you just I think you're just not ready for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Eventually, your kids are gonna grow up and eventually have it, but like at the least like talk about it. But he didn't know it's gonna be that early. So you're like, oh fuck, like my 8-year-old's doing this already.
Right.
Dude, did you ever get to talk, Amanda?
We both did at the same time.
We did.
I think.
Oh, I got.
You might have gotten a separate one.
I got a second one.
Oh, okay. I remember. I actually remember the day they were gonna do it, and they called us into the room. I was like,
It's awkward as
we're
shit.
about to get to talk. I just knew like automatically. I was like, fuck, we're about to talk about the thing or whatever. And they didn't even talk about sex. They talked about protection. I just remember that, like birth control and condoms and
Open carry,
I
concealed carry.
don't know about that, but yeah, it was really awkward, and they didn't know how to have the conversation either. So it was awkward because they were being awkward. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, like kind of like Mason mentioned, like how do you as a parent do it? I know for me, like it wasn't. My dad was always, cool or whatever. He was like, yeah, this is some shit here.
Some shit here.
But so I mean, you could very easily not make it awkward, but if you start folding under pressure in front of your kid, it's just gonna be like, what are we doing here?
Well, I got the second attempt of that, and Mom had driven me to the movies, and I was gonna go meet with my friends, and so we're waiting for everyone to show up because we showed up early. Surprise! First time we ever got anywhere early. I don't remember the movie. I really don't.
It was SpongeBob movie. If I remember right.
So I'm sitting in the car. And Mom goes, this is a good time to talk, Josh. I was like,
yikes.
Talk about what? I was like, it's like the birds and the bees. I was like, Mom, we've had this talk. We don't have to do this. I'm like 13. Like I have a good sense of what everything is. Okay. And Mom proceeds to continue to explain it all to me, and I'm just like, I just want to go watch the movie with friends. I don't want this talk right now. And she, Mom, she can push. And so she continues to go on about this whole like how sex works and who to be with and know who's the right person. And I'm just irritated.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk to you about this. Like I'm literally shutting you out.
Did she refer to the Bible at any point during the talk?
Yeah.
We probably did.
She did.
Probably
She did.
like no sex before marriage, probably.
She's like, yeah, you need to make sure you have some sex with someone special. It needs to be like your wife. And you like, it's a sin if you do it without your wife. I'm just like, okay, Mom.
It's funny because these people teach you these things and they didn't follow that shit at all.
No.
They did not.
No way.
I asked Mom about it. She didn't even do that.
No, she didn't either. Yeah, she didn't wait at all. But I think I was reading a study or something that said like kids who get taught like abstinence only, they always end up with the most like STD rates and like high pregnancy rates. Because no one taught them anything else. They're just like, well, I mean, they just kind of go and do whatever they want without any protection or anything. Yeah. So I thought that was funny.
On that same note too, I think people who don't, I guess, receive any sort of knowledge about, I guess, stuff like that, like protection, STDs, possibilities, this, pregnancy, that, like, usually those kids while out.
It's always those kids, like preacher's kids, like we were.
Yeah.
Josh was the good kid.
I was always.
But in high school, I wilded out just a little bit. But
man, you be sneaking out in the middle of the night.
I never snuck out in the middle of the night.
Yes, you did.
We lived in a gated community. How the hell would I sneak out?
It was around time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, like it's like
you're
it's
not gonna find a way. Yeah.
Definitely, you took Mom's car and like went some places.
I don't ever remember sneaking out. I remember coming home later than I was supposed to, but I never snuck out of the house.
I don't think I ever snuck out either. There was no reason to.
Yeah, there was something like compelling me so badly to just leave the house, really.
So I can see why Josh wouldn't sneak out, because Josh probably went to sleep around, 4 p.m. Didn't wake up until 4 p.m. the next day.
Josh was the good kid. I remember one time I was picking him up from school one day, and I was playing A$AP Rocky. That was like around the time when he was like getting real popping and everything. And I was playing A$AP Rocky, and he was like, "Turn this off. There's too much cussing in this."
Oh my god!
And I remember looking at him like,
Josh.
"What?" Like I looked at him like he was an alien almost. Like, what the fuck? What? I was like,
that was a
really
strange
out of
phase
touch.
for me.
He was like really super Christian. He went like every Wednesday to like Bible study and church, and yeah.
I was such a hypocrite, man. Because
I don't think you were a hypocrite. I just think you thought you were doing what you were supposed to do. But
Most.
It was around that
Tends to
time.
do.
It was around that time I started listening to like Avenged Sevenfold and started getting into hip hop and other things like that. And Dad, he likes to analyze music and point out how like these things are bad.
Oh God.
So I would listen to these songs like, yeah, this is awful. Look at what he's saying. And at the same time, I'm like grooving to it. And I'd be like, hey, Dad, look what I found. This is terrible. We talking about the devil and eating souls and shit. And My dad was like, yeah, that's bad. Stop listening to it. I was like, okay, I'm going to do more research.
Research.
And I just ended up liking it. It's like, there's nothing wrong with this. This is fine.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
I think the difference between me and you growing up is like I always question things. Like growing up, they'd be like, "Don't smoke weed, don't listen to this type of music, don't do that," and I'd be like, "Why can't I do that?
Yeah.
Why can't I do these things?" I would just research for myself and make the decision for myself. Whereas Josh was more like, "Okay, I need to do this because that's what this says."
Well, Josh definitely
So-
comes off as a blind follower of just any.
He can be.
Can be.
He
Hey,
feel like he
hey,
gets
watch
behind.
it. Watch. I still ask
He
questions.
can be if he doesn't have like the right guidance and stuff. But we're working on that.
I think you also do yourself a favor when you decide to like question things because you don't you don't want to be that kid who like is like, hey, let's go smoke, and you're like, no, it's bad. Like you're gonna suck, dude. Like no one's gonna like you if you're like, like dude, like everyone's like, man, you fucking blow, dude. Like where I hang out. With
That's
you
one
again.
thing to have like your own like standard of morals and values, but like know why you have those
Yeah.
morals and
Absolutely.
values.
I didn't ask those questions till
Yeah.
after high school.
Yeah, that happens for most people. Like when they go to college, that's when they kind of start questioning things a little bit more. But
It's too late.
so yeah, sometimes it is too late because usually right now we're in our like foundation of like what we believe morally. Most people don't really change like in their 20s. Like they don't really change going up
Yeah.
to their 50s about their ideas. So
I believe that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like obviously like the development stage of life, like the teenager stuff. That's like when you're developing, then like as soon as that's over, it's like set in stone.
Yeah.
Like, you're not changing your shit.
That's facts.
yeah.
But it's funny to see now how, like, for example, Josh, as an example, there was plenty of kids that we went to school with just like that.
Oh yeah.
Who were like, this kid's never doing anything bad. They're never doing this or that. Out of high school, never, dude, they're the most devious looking people of all time.
Facts.
Right. Yeah.
Meanwhile, everybody who kind of got it out is just chilling.
Exactly. Yeah. Because they didn't get that like foundation in high school really of like, I feel like if you don't wow out in high school and you go to college, you're really going to do the most. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of how I feel about it. Because I know people who like didn't, like my roommate, she like hadn't even drank or anything yet before she got to college. And she was like the worst one, I think, out of in our
Really?
whole, oh yeah, she was the worst one out of our whole group. Like she was wilding. But, and I was just like chilling because I already done all that stuff. So it wasn't like new to me.
Yeah.
So.
Gotta get out of your system, and then you get knocked up, and it's
Yeah. Or you can try to avoid that last part.
it goes
But
back to the birds and the bees. Dude, when my mom gave me the talk, dude, she was no, I'm so itchy right now. She was going through college at the time, and she's a nurse. She went to nursing school, and she was taking an anatomy class. And I'll never forget it, dude. She was like, "Hey, Mason, come here real quick." And like I think like just got home from school. Like she was like, I gotta show you this. And I was like, all right. So she had this like anatomy textbook, and okay, so like I think she knows at this point. Like I was probably like 8 or 9. Like she knows that I know what sex is, and so she just got right into it. She was like, okay, here, this picture here, this is genital warts. And it's like,
Oh my
it's literally
God.
just like it's like this like.
Most grotesque
Dude,
picture.
it is
Oh
the
my
grossest
God.
I've ever seen in my life, and I was like, no, like please don't do this. She's like, no, like you need to see this. Like if you don't use protection, like this is gonna happen. It's like chlamydia and shit. I'm like, oh my God, like Jesus Christ, yeah. It was like a scare for me. So instead of getting like the talk, it was more just like you need to like not just be like I guess conscious of like what you do,
yeah, what could
who
happen.
you do it with.
Yeah.
But so which is cool. Like I'm glad she did it. It was very horrifying at first, but like now that I'm like old enough to like do this stuff, I'm like, okay, like I know I don't want this thing, so I need to be responsible. So shout out to moms. Moms are awesome.
Yeah.
I still feel like I don't have an answer about Josh grabbing his shit though.
It was an listen, I'm an impulsive person. All right?
God damn.
I'm
trying
an
to find the
impulsive
sink.
person.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Hey Josh, so what is this phase 4 you were talking about earlier in the car, dude? Or
Phase
something?
4, baby. We're talking about Marvel Phase 4. Marvel Phase 4 because the end of Endgame.
Oh,
Yeah.
Endgame was so good. Have y'all
Very-
seen it yet?
very good.
I'm probably not gonna watch it.
Mason
What?
spoiled the whole thing for himself.
Yeah, he
I
did.
saw a spoiler on Twitter. It made me so mad.
Which one?
About the very
Whoa,
big,
whoa,
like,
yeah, Josh.
Whoa.
the
Come
big,
on.
yeah, some people haven't seen it, but like the big thing.
Well, by the time this is
Yeah.
edited and this is out, dude, it'll be like 2020. So
It would be like
No,
2020.
No.
don't say
Oh,
that.
Don't
dang.
That's Josh. You're doing a great job.
we're-
You're
editing.
doing
Working
great,
hard.
little brother. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of
Yeah,
you.
I know, dude. Great. Fuck you.
All right, so
I
but
take it back.
so there's 4 phases. We just ended the 3rd phase.
Yeah,
Phase
I don't know any of these phases. So what are these phases, Josh?
yeah, go ahead.
What is phase 1?
What is Phase 1? Okay, Phase 1 is a whole list of movies.
If it's gonna stress you out, dude, we don't have to talk about this, Josh.
I don't know all the movies by heart, but basically, Marvel has been working in each phase. Phase 1 was getting Iron Man, Thor.
The introduction phase.
Like, introduced the world to these.
Like their origins?
Basically. All the origin stories that laid out the Avengers leading up to the Avengers. So, Phase 1, I believe, ends with the first Avengers movie.
Okay.
Phase 2, of course, ends with Avengers 2. And then Phase 3 is Endgame, and then Part 2. Which is, Infinity War and then Endgame.
So
it
I've
sounds
never
like
seen...
there's infinite phases.
Well, not infinite. I mean, there's only so many storylines they can probably poof up.
So Phase 4 is like the next round of movies, or
Yes.
the next comic section.
Josh,
or
you
whatever.
So they're
literally
building
just said-
Phase 4.
You
They're
literally
building
just said
Phase 4.
there is Phase 1, which is like the introduction phase. They introduce characters and origins. And then there's Phase 2 and 3, and now we're on Phase 4.
Okay.
So what is Phase 2, Josh?
Okay, give me a second to look up all the list of all the movies in the
Okay,
phases.
because I haven't seen any of the Avengers. I don't watch any of those, so I don't know what the hell happens at the end of Avengers 2 or whatever.
So what is it about superhero movies that you don't find?
You know, I really don't know. Like I said, I've seen a couple of them and I enjoyed them. They're really good. But like, anytime a new one comes out, I don't have like a desire to go watch them. So I mean, maybe I don't know. Like I said, last night I saw like the back half of like Thor Ragnarok. It was pretty cool. It was pretty funny, but I don't know.
I didn't really start caring about superhero movies until probably Black Panther came out, and then that's when everybody was like, oh, then there's Infinity War, and I was like, well, I guess I'll watch that one too, and then I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll watch the last one, so I was kind of like a bandwagon, like, Marvel fan kind of.
Yeah.
I did, like, grow up seeing Iron Man and all that, but it wasn't, like, a huge deal until, like, recently, really. But I knew, like, they were there. I knew it was, like, a big deal, but I didn't really start caring
It
too
kind of
much.
becomes a big deal when you start talking about the end of something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with the phases, basically, Phase 1 was Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor,
But-
Captain America, the First Avenger, and Avengers.
So how about this?
Okay, go
Because it sounds like you're just listening to movies. What does a phase mean? Like, what does each
Okay.
phase mean?
So each
Who
phase
cares
is
what movie's
basically
in there?
their whole, like, they plan out the whole thing. Before they even get all the scripts done, they plan out every single movie that's going to happen in that phase.
So it comes together.
So it all comes together, and they keep it tight, so like there's not too many plot holes, and it's a good thing for them to reference. And if
So, sorry,
Okay.
what's the next phase going to be?
we have no clue, they taking a break. So after Spider-Man, they'll be working on Phase 4. We won't have any Marvel movies for an entire year. What we will have is the Marvel subscription service that will have like a Loki TV show with Tom
Subscription
Hiddleston.
service.
I thought that was
Yeah,
Disney.
Are they trying to do streaming or something like
They
that?
are. That's why all the Marvel stuff's coming off Netflix, because Disney's opened up their own streaming service.
There's too many streaming. I
There
can't.
are.
there is.
I
At this
I'm
point.
only doing Hulu and Netflix. I can't.
bet.
Like my bank account can't handle anymore.
Dude, exactly. But okay, if you're gonna have that many, come to some agreement and have it bundle for $15 for all of them.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not spending six, seven.
Right.
I'm not doing it.
Exactly. This is too much.
I
I
mean,
heard that NBC
yeah.
is trying to get their own like,
Amazon.
streaming thing. Yeah, Amazon
But-
Prime or Amazon Video, whatever it's
Amazon,
called.
Disney,
But
Hulu,
here's the
Netflix.
thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, dude. So they have all these, and they know that there's like so many that are overwhelming. That's why they have bundles. They do have bundles. You get Spotify, you get
Right,
Hulu.
Hulu, that's true.
exactly it.
Sign
Yeah,
up with
yeah,
T-Mobile,
that's
you
true.
get Showtime.
Yeah.
Or even with Spotify, you get Showtime also with Hulu.
So I have to switch to T-Mobile and download Spotify.
Well,
just
obviously
to get
T-Mobile
some
is just an
extra stuff.
example, but there's like people are starting to, especially
I'm saying I need
especially
7
companies-
streaming services for
especially
one price.
companies that are based on price competitiveness, like phone companies and who else? Not cars. I don't know. Like phone companies. I'll just stick with my example there. They know that like they're based on price competitiveness, so they get like it's basically who's the cheapest at this point, and they're at the point now where they can't get any cheaper, or else they're just gonna be at a loss. So they have to switch. They have to differentiate by doing bundles with like streaming services or like some other type of like on the Spotify or something
Right,
like that.
and they capitalize with premium content, basic content that no one else has.
yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, so there are like opportunities to obtain more streaming services and not have to like juggle out like subscribing to 1 million of them.
But Netflix is suffering for it because everyone's like, okay, let's do what Netflix did. Let's just make a streaming service. So now they're taking the rights back for certain things they gave Netflix.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we'll take this and we'll go do our own thing, our own subscription service. So Netflix is actually losing a ton of money right now.
They're also in debt like really bad, which is why they
Really
raised
bad.
their prices again. They're like in debt pretty bad because of all their original content. There's just not they can't make up for it, I guess.
Because the thing is, like, Netflix puts out great original content. Not all of it's great.
Yeah.
They
But
put out a lot of
the
it.
production behind it is dope.
Yeah.
But now it's at the point where Netflix, like, at the beginning owned, like, they're like the kings of like original content for Netflix. Dude, now Hulu's banging out some pretty sick bangers.
Yeah, they have some good shows on
like
there
The
too.
Act. I don't know if you guys seen The Act. That shit's
I
awesome.
have. It's really, really
Yeah.
good. It's a good show.
And then Showtime's has their own streaming thing now. They have like what's it called? The big one, fucking
HBO Go. So
Was
Yeah,
it? It's
Game
not
of-
Ballers.
the one with the
Game of
dysfunctional
Thrones is-
family.
No.
With
Shameless.
Shameless.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
Shameless. Yeah.
I thought
And
that
then
was
HBO Go.
Oh, I didn't know that.
is that what? So is that off Netflix too? Then I guess.
What, Shameless?
It's still on
Shameless
there.
is still there.
It's still on
yeah,
Netflix.
but
Still
they're
on
they're a Showtime original. Anyway, yeah. So Netflix is on the decline because one, the popular shows like Marvel are pulling out,
Yeah.
and two, they're coming out with like bad originals, but also just the competitors are stepping up their game finally.
Yeah, that's true.
But to pull it back real quick, let's talk about Endgame a little bit. We're not going to try to spoil it for those that haven't seen it.
Which has netted billions of dollars.
Yeah, already. What was it?
1.2 billion opening weekend. It's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Still got today too.
Yeah.
Today's not a weekend. Today's the
Is
start of a
it
new
technically
week.
still a weekend?
Today's the start of a new week.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you know,
I guess
so you're
technically, yeah.
right,
But
yeah.
if you work Monday through Friday like me, it's still the weekend.
Huh? I didn't know that. I just learned something new today.
But now, Endgame was an amazing movie that definitely it hit me. It was good. I cried like multiple times during that movie.
I cried too,
course you
like
do.
2 times. Yeah.
I don't think it was better than Infinity War, but it was a really good movie.
It was really funny. It was funnier than Infinity War.
very funny.
Really, really funny. But
All of the
I think-
comedy, I think, hit all of it.
yeah, it was perfect. Everyone laughed when they needed to laugh. Like sometimes there'll be those little jokes where you know you're supposed to laugh, but it's not funny. But Marvel's really good at kind of making sure every joke they hit lands, you know?
Cool.
So it's really good.
Yeah, the whole Disney thing. They just know how to get into people's skulls. It's kind of creepy.
Dude, I'm telling you,
so.
man, Disney is planting a seed. And I don't know what it's gonna grow into, but that's why I'm not sticking to these Marvel movies, dude. There's some seeds getting planted. And I heard the last part of it gets really political. Okay, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's what I was saying. I've never seen it, but everyone's like,
Everyone tries to relate things to politics, though.
I think Avengers is like the least political, like.
because that's what they were saying.
ever.
Black Panther was. Everyone's saying Black Panther was very political.
No, it was just
Because
about black
it like
people.
reflected like our society.
I wouldn't really say it was political. They did like talk about a couple of things about whether you should intervene in. I think their big thing in Wakanda was like they wanted to keep it Wakanda, and they didn't want to include African Americans or help them out there. And I guess that could be a little bit
see that.
political.
I could see that.
But I didn't think that was a whole basis of the movie.
Okay.
But I liked it. I like most of the Marvel stuff. But the 3 movies I've seen.
Dude, no movie though was more political, Marvel wise, than Captain Marvel was.
I didn't see it.
So-
I didn't see Captain
Dude,
You
Marvel.
didn't need
That's-
to.
No, you
Yeah,
didn't need
that's
to.
why I didn't see it, because everyone said I didn't have to see it. So, but I like the girl who plays Captain Marvel. I
Brie
just,
Larson. Dude, she's
Yeah.
like
She's
super. People like hate her
why?
Why?
because she's speaking out against like she is like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like she's trying to voice her opinions about political views, and people are not having it basically.
Oh, okay.
So she like got on stage talking about like A Wrinkle in Time is not for like she was talking about like movie critics mostly. But she was basically saying like A Wrinkle in Time, like she doesn't need some 40-year-old white man telling me how. And like,
this is like a
wrinkles-
speech she gave.
Yeah.
It was like
not
an
in a
interview,
movie.
right?
Oh, okay.
It was an
It was,
interview she did.
she's like on stage. I think an award show or something. I don't know.
I
This
just
is
like
like
heard about that.
this is like comedians, dude. Like I'm trying to laugh, dude. Everyone's got a fucking voice now. Dave Chappelle even gets up there and gives his goddamn rant about politics and shit, about Trump and whatnot. And I get it, dude. He sucks, but like, dude, you're a comedian. I paid to laugh, dude. Not hear your fucking
Are you talking about his
political rally, dude.
It makes it funny.
stand up?
No, yeah.
He does make it funny.
I think
No,
he
dude.
does a good job of making a lot of political things.
So you
funny.
think someone should stick to what they're doing?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, comedians, especially from like the Black experience, if you see stuff going on, I think they feel and like they have to kind of speak out on it instead of just kind of making you laugh. They figure out a way to make you laugh and bring
Think about it,
awareness to stuff, which is hard to do. But
Oh, and comedians are way better. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Because
that's such a
comedians are
harder job.
smart.
Dude, acting is not a hard job. Somebody
I think acting is hard.
yeah,
I do.
okay, so
All right, Matt's an actor. Dude,
all
he
right,
would know.
oh, you're an actor too. So
No,
anyway,
but I know how hard it is.
So you come in. Someone has their idea. Do it this way. Do it
But you
this
have
way.
to develop the emotion
I'm not
behind
saying-
like the
I'm not saying
lines
it's not
and the
hard.
setting. You just said it
You
wasn't hard.
literally just said acting is not hard.
Okay, go ahead.
Kind of okay. Wait, let me. I guess see what I meant. Actors are highly decorated and like highly like people are like, oh, dude, it's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is doing what somebody told him to do. Tom Cruise is doing exactly what somebody
I
told him
think Tom
to do.
Cruise is a bad example because all he does is action movies now.
He
And
plays as a Scientologist.
I think Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah.
Denzel
DiCaprio's
Washington
better.
is delivering a line the way that
But
you asked him
have
to deliver
like,
the line.
Deliver it behind the emotion in a specific way that the director is asking you to do. It's really hard to like put yourself in a particular moment that you think your character is supposed to be in and then act it. Like actually cry when you're not feeling sad is hard, or being angry when you're not mad is hard. You have to put yourself in like a mindset to do
But
that.
what you're answering is that is back to when I said acting is not hard. That's it's tough to act, but I'm saying they're getting so much more respect than like a comedian would,
Oh, okay.
and what a comedian does is way harder.
Oh, okay.
I
see,
get
see
what
that.
you're
It's
saying.
I see
not
that.
it's not
I don't think it's
for everybody to be an actor, but it's not impossible for somebody to learn how to do something that you are
Right.
being directed to do. It's more on the director, which I would say a lot of the times directors don't get enough credit.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
agree.
That's
What's the dude?
Wes Anderson.
Yeah, even that guy, like he's super dope, but people don't like talk about him. They talk about the people who were in his movies.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
I think.
Wes Anderson gets credit, dude.
Well, no, but like, so what's the I can't. The dude's name is escaping me right now. He did fucking
I know
Inglourious
you're
Bastards. He's done
Tarantino?
Yeah,
Oh,
Tarantino. Like
he
Tarantino,
gets
like
mad credit though.
exactly,
He
He
does.
gets mad credit.
exactly. But he's done like his work is respected because of how he does it.
Right.
The actors
I
do a
think-
good job, and that's part of it. But for the most part, like if you see, what's it like Michael Bay, like you're like, oh, it's a Michael Bay movie. Fine, the actors kind of help bring to his world to life that he's trying to convey.
Right.
But it's not like, oh, Michael Bay's
think-
dope.
I get what you're saying, but I think it's really hard to establish yourself as like an auteur, like an actual like really
What did you just
good
say?
auteur. It means like you have whenever people see your film, they know it's your film. Like when you see a Tarantino film, before you know it's Tarantino director, you know exactly that it's
That's a
him.
cool word.
That means
It's a dope word.
I learned it in film class,
Shit.
so I'm
Thanks for
flexing a
that.
little bit, but but yeah, it's hard to establish yourself that way. There are like very few directors who can do that in a good way, to where like with film, it's really hard to put yourself where the character's feeling and then have the camera reflect that to the audience. Does that make sense?
That's why I think Tarantino films are so amazing.
Yes, he does a really good job with that. I do like him as a director.
Music,
Yeah,
tone,
yeah,
like everything,
yeah.
like he's thought about it.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's like, and this is, I didn't go to classes for anything, so I'm kind of like no experience at all. But I think it's easy to do that too with auteur, to have an auteur, like, because you think of Tarantino, and he has a specific auteur, but it's like very, I don't know, it's very like detailed, I guess. Whereas Michael Bay, he's all about explosions, dude. Like he has
Yeah.
he has that thing about explosion, like that's kind of easy.
I
Like,
think
if-
auteur is more for like those really artsy type of films that you see, which
Yeah.
Tarantino kind of does a little bit.
Yeah.
He's good at doing action and art, which is so hard to do.
yeah.
But with like films like Michael Bay, like it's not really art. You're just kind of like trying to make shit blow up.
Yeah, exactly,
So it's
yeah.
not really like
Yeah.
you know, like artsy. So
Okay, so we were talking about politics.
Yeah.
And that's a topic for debate, and it can get heated. Josh was saying he wants to bring back a segment called
Where's the line?
"Where is the Line?" A segment that we
Okay.
had a while back. We threw it away for whatever reason. I think we just stopped doing it just because
Yeah, just because
there was no reason.
Honestly, we just kind of got swept away with all the development of the whole set and everything. We just kind of forgot about everything.
Yeah.
But anyway, not the point. We're bringing it back.
You want to
Hey.
explain the segment, Josh?
Well, yes. Where's the line is a segment that we have where we determine how far something has gone, or if it's not gone far enough, or it's fine where it is. So, without further ado, our first one is comedy, sexism, and racism. How far has it? How far before it goes past a joke? So
Like in a comedy.
yeah, we're talking about stand up. So like, stand up comedians.
It's always a joke.
Yeah.
But how far until it's not a joke?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I don't know because it's very subjective. For example, last night I went to a friend's house and we were watching Thor Ragnarok, and there was a scene where like someone was like using like a gun or something, and for whatever reason this guy I was with made a joke about how it resembled a school shooting. Yikes. And my friend's girlfriend, who is I hope he doesn't listen to this. His girlfriend's very sensitive and like gets offended easily. She was cracking up at this. She was cracking up. That was the funniest thing. Was joking with it about how it was resembling a school shooting. Later on during the night, another friend of mine mentioned how a coworker we work with, who's like kind of old, says that like he looks like he could like touch kids. And obviously it's a joke, and like we're like, oh, haha, it's funny. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I was like, that's a strong accusation you're making. Like he doesn't do that, But obviously, I know he's making a joke. And that girl, my friend's girlfriend, got very offended and was like, hey, like you can't be making that joke in this house. I was at her house or his,
shit.
and he was like, yeah, she was like, you can't make a joke in this house. Like that's not funny at all. Like just stop right now. Like don't speak of it again. Like very, very offended. Wow. And I wanted to be like, well, you were just joking about kids dying.
You should have.
Yeah, where's the line drawn between kids dying and like kids getting touched? So like it's very subjective. Is the point I'm saying. So like whereas kids getting killed could be funny, but some people think kids getting like touched is not funny. Like those same people. Mm-hmm. So it's just very subjective in my opinion. So I don't know where the line gets drawn here. So in terms of stand up, it's all like Matt said. It's all jokes. So
a joke is a joke.
It's up to you if you're gonna get offended.
I do think there can be a line, particularly with like abuse and like rape jokes and stuff, just because if you talk to somebody who's experienced that type of abuse, it's like not funny to them. Like having your body violated isn't funny. So why would we want to make a joke about it? Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of where I draw the line with that. I think that just kind of depends on your experiences, and I think maybe we need to be just a little bit more sensitive towards people's own experiences, you know what I'm saying? And things can be funny. I think a lot of comedians are doing a really good job now of like being funny without kind of punching down humor.
Yeah. And it's hard on them right now. It really is.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And I get like they're kind of having to adapt to like where culture is going right now, and it can be hard to kind of like make your I think Key and Peele does a really good job of this, by the way. Their show, like when they did their show, they did a really good job of like funny shit, but like not super crossing the line or anything. I haven't seen anything like inappropriate, like super like that made me be like, damn, in a while from them. But I think it is hard to kind of have them adapt to that. So
yeah, you're right. It's definitely a big factor is just the times. Yeah. Because dude, like in like mid 2000s, dude, Louis C.K. was just dropping the N-word like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And people were dying at those jokes, dude. Yeah. Personally, I was like, okay. But like people were dying at like those jokes. Nowadays, dude, if he says that, he's getting. They need to say that like, or he did something right. Or no, he like jerked off in front of people or something.
Yeah,
that's completely different.
He used to like,
completely different thing.
He would just like lure people into like hotel rooms and just like jerk off in front of them without saying anything.
He asked them.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he
asked
really?
them.
Yikes! Yeah. I think I remember reading that one girl was like, I thought it was a joke at first, and then he just like started doing it, and she was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah. That's kind of true. Like a comedian telling me like, "Oh yeah, that's funny. Yeah, let's go check it out."
You
and
think
then
he's
actually
like joking.
Yeah, but anyway, at this point in time, if he were to make those jokes, he would not be around.
And people are still upset with him anyways. Now,
oh, yeah.
He tried to come back recently, and everyone was not really feeling it. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I think a lot of it has to do, too, with just, like, movies nowadays. There's a lot of, like, movies that are not necessarily black empowerment, but have, like, definitely raised awareness to discrimination against blacks. And so that has, like, enabled a lot of people to think, like, okay, like, this is a serious issue. We can't be joking about this anymore. Because it is.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, back then, like, that wasn't like that big thing. So like people like Louis C.K. was dropping the N-word and like people were eating it up because everyone's kind of ignorant about it.
I still think like it was a big deal then, but maybe it wasn't like a big deal to him until like people with like other voices kind of started coming out and be like, okay, like this shit isn't cool, Like it's still a big deal even if you say the N-word at a time where it doesn't seem like a big deal. It's still a big deal. It's just there's no voices there to say that to you.
Yeah. Kind of off topic and a little like not funny joke, but last night, that same night, a friend of mine brought her boyfriend over, and he was a black guy, and he was like vocally like saying how like there should be nothing wrong with like people saying the N-word, like any race saying the N-word. Okay. He's like I don't get like what's wrong with it. Okay. And I was just like, dude, like we're all white. And I was just like, dude, you're talking to the wrong crowd right now. Like, we cannot say anything about this. Like you're asking the wrong crowd.
Black dude said that?
Dude, yeah,
I have heard black people say it before.
Yeah.
I like get it, but I don't agree with it. Like I get what he's saying, but because of how it's a word, so like
I think
a word only has as much power as you give it. You know,
I kind of
type
disagree.
thing.
That's a real powerful word, especially.
Yeah, I think it was just him trying to be like, hey, like I'm a black guy who's like cool with you guys
He's,
saying
like,
this. Like, I'm trying to be the
fit
cool.
in.
I'm the cool
right,
guy. You know, like,
yeah,
like
which
okay,
is,
bro. Like,
no,
yeah.
I've been around people like that before.
Yeah.
And it's, no.
Yeah, but anyway, you can joke about anything always at all times. It just needs to be funny. That's what a lot of people don't like. Pete Davidson, for example. I hate that motherfucker.
The guy on SNL?
That dude is
Ariana
not
Grande's
funny.
ex?
Yeah, that dude is
I
not
don't
funny.
watch him at
He
all.
says these shock value type things, and that's why it's so annoying. Like when Kanye wiles out, and you're like, oh, he's just doing this thing again. It's like an eye roll. It's annoying. That's who like Pete Davidson is for me.
That's how Anthony
He just-
Jeselnik is too. He's very offensive.
No, but yeah, he's better about it. He makes it creative and funny.
Yeah.
I think my line where the comedy is, you also got to recognize, especially when
It
you're
needs
doing
to be
stand-up.
funny.
One, it needs to be funny. Two, know what you're paying for.
What
Like
do you
for
mean?
real.
What do you mean?
Dude, for
What is
real,
it?
dude. There are
Some-
like
some-
hecklers, dude, who are like, go to a Anthony Jeselnik, dude, and they get so offended. You're like, you're paying to go to see Anthony Jeselnik. Yeah.
Had no idea.
Wait,
Yeah.
who is that?
Just like this white comedian that makes like dead baby jokes and like
Yikes.
even goes as far as like abuse and whatnot.
But it's super creative, and that's what's funny about it. Like,
To me, it doesn't matter how creative it is. If it's about abuse, it's just gross to me. I
Y-
can't.
Yeah, you do your research, especially on a comedian, see like what kind of like comedy they're based in, and you'll find out like exactly where they're at. And granted, some people do go over the line and say like it's like straight up disrespectful shit, but people also
Yeah.
need to recognize what you're paying for.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those people go and protest though. Like I think they know exactly who the person is, and they're like in protesting probably the content that they're talking about.
it's not gonna work out for
Yeah,
him.
it's not.
Yeah,
unless,
if you're in a
unless there's
room
a
full of
big enough
people.
mob, like
I think
it's
it's like
not.
they're trying to think like raise awareness, like kind of like I was talking before.
The wrong
but
medium, though.
A good comedian
Yeah.
will destroy a heckler.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah, they
Always.
will flip this script and make you look like a dumbass.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
your idea of protest is going to a comedy show and being the only person trying to protest, that's the wrong medium. You're not doing that's. You're not gonna get your message through.
But yeah. All right, I got another one for you.
Okay.
Where's the line on plastic surgery? Now, I've been thinking about this a lot.
This is interesting.
It's very interesting.
I like this one.
I see a lot of plastic. I see a lot of people doing the whole Ken doll thing or the whole Barbie doll. You haven't seen that shit?
What?
Okay, so there's literally a dude that has altered his body
like
through
Portugal,
plastic body through plastic surgery, and he now looks like a Ken doll.
Yikes, that's
Yeah.
gross.
Does not look
Yeah.
like a Kindle at all. Actually.
Yeah,
I'm sure he doesn't look like.
He's definitely botched.
there's
God.
there's another guy that's doing plastic surgery to look like Superman.
Why?
Nice.
So all his muscles
so
are absolutely fake. And it just
Oh my
looks
gosh.
like a mess. I'll try to find a picture and put them up here on the green screen for y'all. And then of course it's like another Barbie doll. People wanted to look like dolls and altering their face and their eyes or like the eyes socket
my
structure to make
goodness.
the eyes look bigger.
It's on Netflix.
But
It's on Netflix. What's
I
it?
like I want to be a doll or some shit like that.
Oh, I think
or it's on Hulu actually.
I didn't know it was a documentary. I'm gonna watch.
but
it.
there's multiple people. Look them up.
Yeah, it's
They're
like
all over the
episodes.
place.
Those
All over the
episodes?
place.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, where's the line?
I think about before we get into this. I think about the Ken doll guy and like how everything in his body is plastic. Like literally, like they like muscle implants are plastic. Dude, what if you
Whoa.
get punched, dude?
Yeah.
If you get in a fight, dude, like, are you fucking your body up?
Well, here's the thing. Even though, because I've seen this dude, he looks, despite the muscles, just looks unathletic. Like the
Yeah.
dude does not look like that. Like
Yeah.
body belongs to him. And even however amazing plastic surgery gets, you're not gonna look. I don't know. It's not. It doesn't really look natural if you
Yeah.
continue with it.
Yeah.
But so my opinion on it with plastic surgery is that there is no line.
Yeah.
You know, people are very insecure, and if they think that getting plastic surgery is gonna make them feel better, so be it.
And then
I
I've seen
personally
40
don't find it attractive, so don't count on me like wanting to like fall for you if you're gonna try to like
I've seen a
look at me or
40-year-old
something.
lady that she looked like a mummy.
Yeah, but if that's what you want to do,
Yeah.
She's horrible.
Oh my god.
Horrible.
That's what you
You
wanna
can
do,
do.
go
Yeah.
for it.
It's your body. You can do whatever you want
I-
with it, even though it may look like absolute dog shit. Who cares?
I think it's important for people to love themselves and not try to get plastic. I think any alteration to your body to me is you signaling that you're not comfortable with just how you look generally and not building your own like security within yourself to say, okay, look, I look this way, that's how it is, and I'll just have to build up that confidence to feel better about myself. So I kind of think that to me, any plastic surgery is over the line. That's like kind of how I personally feel, because I think especially today it's so hard because there's Instagram, there's Facebook, you know, there's Twitter, and you see all like the pretty Instagram models everywhere, and you're like living like this false like reality where you think you have to look a certain way.
It's bad too, dude.
That's why I feel like any type of plastic surgery is just you kind of succumbing to that and saying, okay, well, I don't look like them, so I need to look like them if I want this or that.
Right.
When you don't have to do that. So that's just kind of how I.
It's so unfortunate, dude, and like it's crazy because like makeup and stuff, like they take advantage of that. Like
They do.
makeup sells hope, dude. That's all. They're just selling you hope, and like
I think makeup did start out that way, but I think for a lot of girls that I talk to, it's like an outlet. It's like a creative like outlet for them to just like play with their face for like a while, or to look, you know, a little bit prettier for like a night out or something. I think makeup is a little different. I do see people who like do a whole lot with it, and I'm like, okay, but I just think like plastic surgery though is just like really over the top. I didn't used to think like that before. I used to think like whatever makes you happy, but I don't know. It's just kind of something insidious about it to me.
Here's where I'm at. I think plastic surgery is necessary because there are people that are out there who are that get in car accidents and like something happens to their body or they have like freak accidents and born differently that need plastic surgery.
Yeah,
that's like I get that. That's fine. My limit is when you start trying to make yourself into fictional characters and you're out here removing ribs, literal ribs to try to look like somebody. And these people are out. I'm serious. These people are out here being screened, and so they're getting pre-approved. But I'm pretty sure these doctors at this point are just like, okay, if this person doesn't do it with me, he's gonna go to someone else. But I don't know. That's my line. I don't think a person should try to look like a fictional character. They should just be them and be comfortable being them. If anything, plastic surgery should be used, in my opinion.
I think, well, it sounds like there's two different kind of issues and points here that are kind of being made. I think we can all agree that plastic surgery, like it sounds like people should try to learn to be, you know, comfortable with themselves and whatnot.
Right.
And that's, I agree with that also. But whether or not the line, what the line with what? Like, should they get it? Like, yeah, I don't care. I would prefer you not to, but I don't care that you're doing it, I guess.
I think so. For me, okay, to answer your question, Josh, the line for me is when it becomes more about cosmetic than like needing it. Where it's like you said, some people, like for instance that show Botched, like people who like medically need it, like they're like born like without something. Or,
yeah,
like,
that's completely different. But people just kind of doing it just because they want to look like Beyonce or Kim Kardashian or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
silly.
That's exactly.
I don't think they should.
You're
That's
just
where I
hurting
come.
yourself. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Dude, Josh,
But
you said these are gonna be topics to debate, dude, and we're all agreeing.
We're all agreeing.
Damn
on
it.
the
all
same
agreeing
thing.
right now.
Should no.
Come on, Josh.
But this goes back to like, should you be allowed to like tell someone what they can do with their money and their body?
No.
You know?
No.
Sad thing is I wanted to say yes, but no.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Can't. Well, do you have another one?
I do have one more.
Sweet.
And it's dating apps. You know, we talked about dating apps a little bit, you know, and I am one that does use the dating apps. But I didn't realize how far they've gotten. They've transcended beyond just like everyday people to now you can like have it's like a certain type of person, like, oh, this person's in business. There's a business dating app for you. There's a app for people that have herpes and only want to be with other people that have herpes, and like so they don't spread the disease. And so my question is to y'all: you think dating apps have gone too far?
No. Don't use them if you don't.
I think dating apps are annoying, so I don't use them anymore. I think
How many
they're stupid.
premium Snapchats do you think Josh is subscribed to? Where's the line on too many premium Snapchats?
That's the question
I don't
I'm
want to
looking
hear about
for.
my brother subscribing to premium.
I'm not.
Snapchat.
How many
Man,
how many
I'm telling you
premium
right now,
snaps?
I'm
How many premium snaps are too many? Josh, you were telling me about two.
No, dude, stop feeding these people mine. I have no premium snap. I don't subscribe to that. I'm better than that, man. Don't look at me like that. I'm telling you, please. If we're family, you gotta trust me.
This man grabbed his shit in front of the family.
Oh my goodness.
So I don't know. With
Damn it.
I guess the question would be, Josh, is Well, let me ask y'all. Do y'all use dating apps? Well, you have a girlfriend, so do you use dating apps?
I do.
Hate them. Think they're dumb.
They're kind of stupid,
Yeah.
but I use them anyway.
Yeah, and I don't use them either. Well, what made you guys stop using them, or what made you stop using them, Matt?
I never found them interesting when I was using them, and I'm far too busy to, I don't know, scroll on an app. It would, how convenient it sounds, but like I'm too busy to visit an app to do something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just think they're dumb.
I think they're dumb too. I think they're really like all the stupid like bios that I'd see on there. Where like
Some
I
are
want to
funny.
meet the Pam to my gym or Jim to my Pam or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck that
Oh,
was.
no.
They do shit like that.
So many.
Or they'd make like a Harry Potter
Exactly,
reference.
dude.
Or like it was just so corny. And I always hated saying, "Let's go on an adventure together." I was like, what adventure are we gonna go on in Texas? Like, where are you trying to take me? Like. I just thought they were so stupid, and like every time you would get a message, it was always like either A, someone trying to hook up, or A, someone trying to like waste your time, and or B, someone trying to make you waste your time, and I just got tired of it. It's just annoying.
It's just like, it just seems like people on there, like, you can easily see when someone like reaches out to you on a dating app that this is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately, they're not the person that they're gonna. I'm not. This is
That's
not like
very
this
true.
is this is not like rooted in like a bad like experience. Like it's just stupid.
Yeah. Actually, it's
And
funny.
I find most people uninteresting on there anyway.
Yeah, no one has personality on there. It's like the same, like, hey,
That's
what are you
facts.
doing? What did you do today? What are you gonna do? When are you gonna go? Like,
Is this an interview?
like-
Are we interviewing?
right, exactly. Tell me about yourself. Like, oh, what made you want to major in that? And it's like, I just don't have time for that.
Yeah, it's
So,
like, exactly. It's like if you break your arm, you show up to school in a cast. Everyone's like, "How did you break your arm?"
right.
I'm not going through that 40
Exactly.
times. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I just don't. What about you, Josh? I know you said are you still using them?
I am off and on with them. It's like
Sounds
every,
like drugs. Are you still using it?
I mean, shit, for some people it is like
I relapse every.
I mean, I'll use it every once in a while, go on a date, and then after the day, I'll be like, okay, that was cool, I guess.
Fine, right?
Fine.
Fine.
Like,
Yeah, it's like whatever.
no meaningful connection. It's just like, yeah, that was okay. Yeah, it's kind of frustrating to do that over and over and over again. It gets boring.
Yeah.
Gets played out, and you do start realizing the repetitiveness that everyone uses the same
same
damn
lines.
thing.
Yeah.
But I keep coming back. I'm a repeat offender. Soon. So
Clip that.
Yeah.
Oh my
A
god.
repeat offender.
Oh, God.
The title, Josh the repeat
Did you
offender.
ever use the Mason?
No,
before you
yeah, I
referenced?
use them. I think why I stopped using them, I really don't know. I think the fact that it was very cookie cutter, like I was getting the same people every time, and also it got to the point where like at first I was picky and like I was just like, oh, okay, why am I doing this? So I just kept swiping. And I would get people and like I would talk to them and like we kind of talk back and forth, but like it would just be that like I'd be like, okay, this clearly is not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And the people I did meet like in person, they were not who they were, or they always wanted something more.
Boring, dude.
Because when I used
Yeah.
Tinder, I was like, okay, like I was like 20 at the time. I was like, okay, like I'm single, like young, like I had my own place at the time. I was like, okay, like it's gonna be cool. And so I used it for, I guess, like the bachelor life. But like people always wanted more, and then I don't know. People just always like, I don't know. People fall in love too easily. I'm guilty of it too, but I don't know. I used it. I knew I was using it for. Okay, hookups. I'm gonna say.
I
it.
think most guys use it for hookups, and most girls going into it looking for love, which
Yeah.
is like,
That's
we're not
already-
gonna find love on Tinder.
Yeah, you're not.
If you're watching
No.
this, you're not gonna find love on Tinder. Get off of Tinder right now.
And people always say, well, there was that one couple that got married from Tinder.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, they probably fucking hate each other right,
Right.
now.
I'm actually one of the few people who got a relationship from Tinder, like right when it was like a really big like hookup app. I got it
Really?
like, for like 2 years we were together.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I'm
but
definitely not saying it can't happen.
it can happen, but it's an anomaly.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not
a good word,
everything.
That's a very
anomaly.
good
Yeah.
word, yeah. Man, you got the.
Yeah, to be an auditor
dictionary
and yeah.
I was.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
but- No, she has a thesaurus on her phone. I saw it.
You saw it.
But so where I draw the line is gonna be. Wait, where I draw the line like on
Yeah, what was the
people
line on
using
dating?
it?
Yeah, or just like the different types that are out there. Where do you fall? Like,
Oh, that's
do you
right.
think it's gone too far? Like with all the different types and how dating culture has like shifted.
I personally don't, because I know that at the end of the day they all have the same objective.
Dude, is it racist though if you're on meetasians.com and you're only trying to meet Asians.
It's a little fetishy. Yeah, it's a little fetishy.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, it's like for Asians. For Asians.
If it's only for Asians, or
Yeah.
like,
Is that not
wait,
racist?
are there Asians trying to meet Asians?
Right.
I thought you
Oh
could.
no, that's
okay.
not fetishy. That's fine if you're just Asian trying to meet an Asian, I guess.
Just like black people meet.
No
Exactly.
one uses
But
that.
can't you
no
not-
one uses that.
That's not racist.
No one uses black people.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying it's like racist to have a preference. I'm saying like I'm not saying anything's racist. First of all,
Do you have
but
to be black?
yes,
Oh, you do.
but yeah,
I don't think like they check your driver's license and like.
Well, yeah,
I don't
but,
think
like,
it's
it'd be
that,
like
but-
Terry Crews and
3/4
white
black.
chicks.
What if you're into like black women? You can't go on that site, like, because you're clearly gonna find a
but
black woman.
but they're to meet black men.
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying for you,
That makes sense.
for you to log in and be like, I'm going to look for, whatever. I mean, you're a special case, I guess. You log in and you're like, I'm gonna look for black women only. Is that not racist?
No,
If you want to
No,
date
that's
someone,
preference.
no, you don't hate other races. You just prefer black women.
yeah.
It's not like I'm gonna go here because I can't stand other people. Like, and even then, like if you don't like other people and you just want to stick to your own race, that does sound very racist. Now I think about it. I'm gonna go back on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back on that one.
That's
is
what I
very
mean.
wrong.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. It's not like they're invented to cause any harm or any like social discord or something like that. But it's
Yeah.
when you break it down, it's
I
a
think
little
there-
bit weird to
There
me.
are dating apps now that have like race preferences. Like if you want to date someone who's white or black or like Latino or something, then you can like narrow it down that way. But
'Cause
I think everybody's racist.
yeah,
first
I
of all.
agree. I agree with that.
Because I don't want to
Everyone's a
like.
little bit.
It's not necessarily like if you redefine your search by race. I think it's more of like culture, like especially like let's say like a Vietnamese person. You're like, wow, like this person has like the same values I have and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not because like I don't know. It's not. I don't know. I guess it's because of the race and like they grew up.
But
in
it's like
the same,
they're comfortable with it.
Yeah,
Already.
they're comfortable with it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
I have a preference.
Yeah.
I
You
think
can
the
have a
only time when it
preference.
gets like fetishy or racist is when like you're like have a lot of white guys who like date me solely because I'm black and they'll ask me a lot about black culture and what it's like to like date a black woman and stuff like that.
As
and,
if you're like a foreign.
yes,
Yeah.
and it's
Coming up.
and like no, seriously they'll put on like the black scent like yo
black
what's
scent?
up yeah
God
like
damn.
seriously they'll do stuff like that to me and I'm like nice to
yikes.
meet you
Yeah.
like so yeah that's when it gets like weird so I don't condone like that if you're just like wanting to seek out somebody else solely because of their race and you're an opposite race it gets kind of weird you
Just
know?
looking for accolades and achievement, like
Right.
self-achievement. Hang on your like mental wall.
yeah your mental wall.
Wow.
Damn, we got kind of far off from that
did.
Tinder
We did.
question.
Yeah.
But it was good. It's good to hear all that, though. I think where I draw the line is just that there are too many types. I think we just need to stop with
I
dating.
think we need to meet organically. I think
Yeah.
we need to like go back to like.
I think it's too late.
Go to
I think
bars.
it's too late.
I think it's too far gone.
Damn, the pessimist over here. Oh
I
my God.
honestly, I think
He's
it's too
not
far
wrong.
gone. It's like it's integrated in every part of.
But I think we're all
Life.
becoming aware of it now.
Yeah.
Like we all know they're kind of shitty and like stupid and like.
I don't know
think-
anyone who's really thinks they're gonna work out really well for
Yeah.
them. I don't know anyone like that.
And I personally
true.
don't know anyone who's still actively using a Tinder right now. I'm sure there's people out there, but I don't know anyone.
Josh is looking like, oh.
Unless your name is Josh Ford.
So, Josh, be honest. How does one get into premium Snapchats?
don't have any previous Snapchats.
Gross.
No,
Zero.
yeah. I hope you don't. I hope you don't have a premium Snapchat.
Okay.
Oh my God.
No, I don't. I'm not subscribed to any premium Snapchats.
I didn't even know you could subscribe to premium Snapchats.
Dude,
Matt was trying to subscribe to Barely Legal magazine earlier today. I caught him doing that, dude. Because we go to this gas station on the way to Josh's house every time we gotta do the podcast to pick up like a drink or something. And dude, he always has like this whole like rack of nudie mags behind him, and we're always checking them out. We're like which one's the new edition this month, you know?
Oh my God.
And so we were trying to figure out like how much it costs to actually subscribe to those things. And Matt, I don't think he found a number, but
No, it's they're related with Hustler apparently, but I was mostly looking at like what like you've seen like Sports Illustrated, you've seen
Yeah.
like Maxim magazine,
Yeah.
you've seen whatever ESPN, something like that. What does the cover of a Barely Legal magazine look like? That was what the thought that popped into my head.
All right. It's
And
a weird way to go, but
so I was like, well, I'm an adult. I can do what I want. I can figure it out. And horrible.
Yeah,
It's-
I would think so.
No, and they're not like exceptionally dirty or something, but it's just like I don't know who I've seen my friends who do photography have way better shoes than that.
Really?
This
Oh, you
one
mean
girl-
like the photography in general? Is
Yeah,
horrible.
no,
No,
it's
like
like, yeah.
the
Oh
my
one,
gosh.
the one we saw. It was the model.
Dude, she looked like a question mark, I
Dude,
think.
she was, the model was this blonde chick, very skinny, and she was like this. She was like smiling.
But it was like from this angle.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Dude, it was
You're like, oh,
straight hunchback.
like
It was
oh, they have
awful.
scoliosis models.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
Scoliosis.
They don't discriminate.
God.
Oh my god.
Equal opportunity.
But where's the gas
funny.
station at?
Yikes, Josh, I'm right here. Mm-mm. Please shut up.
That's all right because you can subscribe online. You don't need.
Yeah,
a,
you
Oh
can,
my
Josh.
gosh.
They don't have. I learned
I
they
think
don't
they-
have any 2019 issues.
I think
so.
they have a premium snap, honestly. just a click
Listen,
away
I
for
don't
you,
do
Josh.
it, man.
Dude, I heard it.
don't.
I heard his
I
heart.
promise you, I don't.
Oh my god.
Everybody in the world, I don't do it. I don't.
I swear, I heard his heart, dude. I think they have a premium Snapchat.
Oh my god. Gross. Oh, gross. Oh my goodness.
Dear
Wait, do
God.
people really like subscribe to that stuff? Like, for
Yes,
real?
I don't
because first of all, pornography doesn't exist apparently in their world. Also, they can't just talk to real people.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So
like,
silly, dude.
I thought that was what porn was for. Like, why do we have to have like premium?
I kind of
Snaps.
thought about. So I'm trying to think about it objectively, right?
Okay.
It must be. It literally must be. You need to see this person right here. That
Why
one.
that one?
I don't
person?
know,
That's so creepy.
You know-
that's kind of stalkerish, honestly.
Right?
I think it's for those lonely men who've been watching porn their whole life, and they're like, you know what? I need to have a standard, and so
Standard.
they want like the 4K shots of like these beautiful women in like these positions or whatever.
It's on Snapchat. That camera's dog shit.
Well, I'm saying like the nudie mags and all that.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. when-
Because I personally don't know how nudie mags are still around.
Yeah, I don't know
given
either with
how
like,
we
the
have, like,
advancement we
internet.
have now.
Yeah,
They probably
exactly.
won't even be here in the next like 5 years.
I disagree. I think people are still buying them. If they're still like out at gas stations and
So my guess
People are
is it's
probably
like I said,
buying.
it's the older people who grew up with nudie mags.
Yeah.
That they don't want to adapt to modern life, so they're
Yeah.
like, I'm going to stick to my barely legal mags. These chicks have.
I don't want to picture an older person buying a barely legal.
Oh, they do it, Amanda. So.
Oh my god, I don't want to.
That's. I honestly, I can't.
Gross.
I don't know who's. You know what's funny is we've thought about this scenario before too. Like if you were an older dude, because that's who's buying it, going to buy this magazine, you need to like wait until you're the only person in the store. Like how do you do? Like
Yeah,
how do you go about
just
this?
Go up and put
Like,
that on the cash register.
I want, and then someone walks in. Oh, lottery ticket, please. Lottery.
Oh man.
But even the cashier would be side eyeing you too, like you know.
Yeah, and they sell the shits too. So, and that's so funny, dude. To like wonder about the scrutiny you'll get from the gas station clerk.
Right.
to care about his opinion so much.
People, gas station people look at you funny too. Like if you go to buy condoms and stuff like that, they kind of side eye you a little bit. So I don't know.
Dude, but I think we're kind of being ignorant right now. So like, what if we actually did ask the guy, like, hey, like, can we get like one of those? And what if he's like, no, you don't want that one. Like, this issue is like a lot better than this one because it has this and that. And you're like, oh shit, like you actually know a lot
You
about
think
these
like they
things.
have like
Yeah.
experts, like connoisseurs on
Yeah,
this
like,
fucking
yeah.
magazine. Oh my god, that'd be.
Like,
I'd
what's
be
what's your
surprised.
preference? Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Like I can see originally how like Playboy like skyrocketed because they had like famous people on covers.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
So it's like
Not even
someone
that. They're
famous.
the first one to do that.
yeah,
Yeah,
there was.
I mean, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
People are like, oh shit, dude, this chick's naked. It's like the 50s, like
Yeah.
like the most people go is like a skirt at the knees.
Yeah.
Looks like Amish. Like,
Like, I just go back to that Marilyn Monroe shot where she's like over
Under the
that.
vent?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
vent,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's
The skirt's
she's
blown
not
up.
even naked. It's just her skirt, and like people like freaked out over
Yeah.
it, and like it was like a huge deal then.
That's crazy. Wow, it's crazy how quickly we've like progressed. Because like
It's insane.
there was like a huge time between like way before the 50s that was the thing, like you just don't show your shit. And like not even like 50 years later, not even like 10 years later, after the 50s, people were doing porn and shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh damn, all right, well, I mean, and like there's no like there is still probably scrutiny at first, but like it was crazy how like quickly it became accepted. So as if like people did want this, and like everyone's just too afraid to do it.
yeah, and I think what's funny is you kind of look at a demographic that of their like customers. It's mostly like super conservative, super
Yeah.
like Christian,
Yeah.
like closet.
The ones who are super repressed.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's always those. Always those. They're always the worst.
And then, you know, you got everybody else.
Well, all right. Well, it looks like we got like 5 minutes left. Let's go ahead and try to wrap this up. Anything else y'all want to talk about though for 5 minutes?
I want to think about more topics on Words of Line, but I feel like we talked about that too much.
No, that's it, man. Like I only had
Oh,
3.
that's good.
Yeah.
That was good stuff though.
Good questions, Josh. Good job.
Thank you. I know I'm
Yeah.
dope.
Thanks, Josh.
There's a thing called humble, you know.
I'm humble.
Kendrick Lamar talks about it.
Yeah, I know you're my favorite.
Okay.
Sit down, Josh.
Well, anyway,
So you didn't get into the second, third phase of Avengers. I don't want to get back into it because that's long. That's long. Gone. That ship has since sailed. But,
It has.
yeah.
I forgot we talked about that, honestly.
Yeah. But we'll save it for another day.
That's facts.
Maybe just after this episode.
All right. I do want to talk about something real quick
Real quick.
that me and Josh watched. And it was this kid. He was coming up with his YouTube channel, right? And for a 70 subscriber special,
Oh, hell yeah.
for a 70, it's good. Look at Josh.
Oh, what is going on?
Is Josh that kid or something?
Just
No,
remember,
it's like
this
it's like a
guy.
young kid. He's maybe 12 or something.
Aw.
And for his 70 subscriber special in like Upper Canada, I think it was, during like the worst Arctic blizzard of all time, he was gonna spend the night out there in a tent.
Oh my God. Did he do it?
yeah, he did. So he's vlogging like the whole time. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there, like, and it's dark as fuck, and it's 4 p.m. Like that's how in the upper hemisphere they are, and he just like he's vlogging through the whole night. It's pitch black. He's like, all right, well, I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm trying to get some sleep, and then it's pitch blackness. He's like, all right, guys. I'm cold. It's cold. It's like he's got like a thermometer. It's like, dude, minus 20. Like,
Oh my God.
This little kid.
so, with our subscribers coming up, basically, what would you want to do that's
For our-
really stupid for a 50 subscriber?
For
my
our
God.
70 subscriber.
Yeah, it's got to be a 70 actually. Sorry,
All right.
Pretty
Oh, shit, dude.
Oh
We're
my God.
Can we not do that?
you'll have to watch the video.
I'll put a link in there.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
send me that video, I'll put
Okay.
it down there. It's so funny, man. The kid's just out there just dying in this
That sounds
blizzard.
really sad. Oh my
For
God.
70 subscribers.
It's funny, man.
So great. I'll definitely put a link there.
We should sing a cappella in public.
Come on.
Yeah. Or
No,
like
that's
But I do that anyway.
Christmas caroling in July.
Whatever happened to flash mobs? Y'all should do flash mobs.
We should.
Fuck.
That'd be fun.
I can't.
Flash mobs are fun.
We'll have to choreograph something. We'll need to find
I
someone.
can choreograph it. I can do it.
You're good at dancing.
Don't we need,
Josh?
like, a lot of
You
people
choreograph
for
a
that?
dance?
Oh yeah, it is a mob, right? Mob is in the word. Never mind.
Plus
We could
Jacob.
like flash mob a phone booth, maybe.
I don't know. Y'all post and figure out what we can do for our 70th subscriber, which I think we're like 40 out, which is very doable. That's gonna happen like any day now.
That's awesome.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of like what we can do that just wouldn't like. I don't know. I always get self conscious about like not harming people, but like just being like an obstruction to the peace.
Yeah, you don't want to be
You
Logan,
don't wanna be
Logan
in the way,
Paul,
yeah.
dude. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't want to be Logan Paul or anything like that.
Oh God, he's annoying.
But he's so famous, dude. Fuck you, Logan. I
It's
hate
all
you.
because of Vine. That's the only reason why he's famous. Is because of Vine.
Facts. I will say thank y'all for all the support, especially like our last YouTube video. I think it's at like 400 views right now, which thank y'all for showing up and watching that and continuing to help us out with that. And also the support over iTunes, Spotify, Radio Public, all that. Thank you. But yeah, definitely.
Cool.
And if you have some time, definitely scroll through Jacob's tweets. He's not here right
not.
Oh my god,
He's
we
not.
really need to address it. It's getting
Yeah.
out of hand.
It's hilarious.
It really is.
now. I just want to read a couple things here, just 2 things, and you can kind of see he's got this like almost Jaden Smith type vibe to him.
It really does.
So this one I retweeted because it's funny. In all caps, anxiously waiting for the return of cargo shorts. Not sure why he tweeted it. We'll get more answers next week, I guess.
Yeah, we need to confront him.
Yeah.
What's the second one?
Scrutinize me, Captain.
Scrutinize me.
Wait,
dude,
what?
there are a lot
Okay.
worse things. No, we need to seriously like talk to Jacob about this.
Yeah.
I'm really
This
kind of
next,
concerned.
I'm needing answers next week on this one. You really look dumb as fuck if you got AirPods in now.
Oof. Gatekeeping, dude. That's funny.
It's a heavy key, I think.
No, this is just the tip of the iceberg here. We'll definitely smash on Jacob next week.
Definitely. Miss you, Jacob.
Yeah.
Anyway, final thoughts, guys.
Unsubscribe to all your premium Snapchats.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Do not buy premium.
You are going to trick people into believing this.
I wasn't even talking to him.
Yes, you.
That's
yes,
true.
you are.
I wasn't
That's
even
very
talking to him.
true.
Amanda,
True.
help me.
I can't.
No.
I don't do
Unsubscribe
it.
to all
I
your
can't
premium
help you.
Snapchats.
I'm better than that. I'm better than that.
Gosh.
Anyway,
Don't get plastic.
Inquire
surgery.
with your gas clerk about your nudie bags.
Yeah.
He's probably been itching to talk about these things for a while now, and no one wants to talk with him about it.
He's itching. Don't talk to your gas station clerk who's itching.
what about you, Amanda? Final thoughts?
You won't find love on Tinder. Get off. Get off
that's
Tinder.
fair.
Yeah, get off
And
Tinder.
Bumble.
Well, all right. Let's get out of here. Well, this has been Bottom of the Class Podcast. I'll see y'all later.
Later. Thank you for
Bye.
coming on.
Of
yeah,
course.
thanks, man. I love
I had
you.
a fun time. This was fun.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.